Part of the argument with AI and other mass produced and corporatized art is that it has no soul and that there's nothing under the surface. I've often said with paintings, there's no performance, there's only the finished product. That's not entirely the case because part of what makes a truly remarkable piece of art remarkable is its backstory. And even if a painting's subject matter or style is not to your taste, the history, backstory, and lore of it is. In this video, we're going to look at 4 supposedly haunted paintings, and you need to watch this alone at night in the dark. Hey y'all, it's your good buddy Justin at Leopard Stripe. Sometimes a painting isn't just on the surface. There's more into it than just the image you've created. Sometimes it's almost like a transfer of energy or like an exorcism you're putting into this object. Honestly, there's a couple of paintings that I've made and sold. I would not be surprised if there was some kind of paranormal activity going on around them. I digress though. Let's look at these 4 works. Our first one isn't a wall painting, but a book, the Codex Gigas, or the giant book, the largest surviving medieval manuscript ever, over 3 feet tall, weighing 165 pounds. It contains the Bible, encyclopedic knowledge, history, medicine, exorcism, but its real fame comes from a full-page illustration of the devil. The lore is that a 13th century Bohemian monk, after having been found guilty of all kinds of sins, was sentenced to be walled up alive. While this sentence was being carried out, he begged for his life, saying if he could just have one night to make this amazing manuscript, religious text, he could be spared. And so they agreed. They let him do it. So he's in there. He's in the room, trying to come up with this thing. The hours are ticking by. It's like midnight. He knows he's not going to get it done. So he prays. He doesn't get the response he's looking for. So he prays to Satan to help him get this done in exchange for his soul. Kind of like a Robert Johnson Crossroads. That's the kind of thing. So this massive manuscript was created, and one of the pages is a full-scale image of the devil. And this thing is pretty cartoonish. It's got like a green face. It's your typical little like medieval monster kind of looking image, but it was done. Part of the lore around this thing is it's been studied, and it come to the conclusion it looks like it's all done in the same handwriting, so it must be the same guy. This doesn't really fly with me so much. I mean, look at animations that are drawn. I mean, it's dozens of people working on an animation in the same style. So I don't think it's beyond some monks, scribes to say, all right, this is the style this book is written in. We're going to stick to this. So that doesn't really fly with me. The book, while it was made in the Czech area during the 30 Years' War in the 1600s, it was taken as spoils by Sweden back to Stockholm, where it still is to this day. It's been, as far as the curse aspect of it, it was in a building. It was thrown out a window and hit someone and injured them. It supposedly drove someone insane. This one is not so much. I think it's just more of like the backstory or whatever, and just an odd image in the book. But if that doesn't do it for you, this next one, pretty good. In 1985, there were a number of fires throughout England that all started under pretty suspicious or undetermined circumstances. While these fires completely charred the buildings they engulfed, they all seemed to have one common factor: a painting print of a boy crying that was untouched by the fire. This was brought to light by fireman Peter Hall, who had reported the precincts all noticed this phenomena, and after that, it was seen as a curse. Hall's brother, showing that he didn't really believe in the curse, bought a print for himself shortly after his house burned down, and the picture remained in perfect condition. As the story caught on and reports came in, one man was assisting a friend destroy a copy, and his home mysteriously burned down. It was later revealed that the pictures through the manufacturer were all varnished with a flame retardant coating, so the haunting aspect was explained away. That doesn't really cut it for me if everything is true, because just because we can explain something, some element, it doesn't necessarily rule out supernatural forces here. We all understand the way the Final Destination sort of films, how they guide you this supernatural occurrence through explainable actions, you know? So, I mean, just because the image was coated in flame retardant uh, varnish, it doesn't explain like fires. They're all, left intact like that. Something could still be up with that. The creator of the original works, Bruno Amadio, who was active through the 20th century, legends behind the works are that they are of children belonging to an orphanage that burned down, and that Amadio's studio even burned down, but these are unsubstantiated urban legends. The Rain Woman by Ukrainian artist Svetalia Telets was allegedly painted in 5 hours, with Telet saying that she felt some kind of like force guiding her to create it. The story goes that it was bought and that people started noticing creepy stuff, like seeing this woman everywhere, feeling she was watching them, and they would return it afterward. This supposedly happened a few times. We could go along and I could tell you this, but I really think it's best for you to just look at this thing yourself. This thing is really spooky. I won't lie. I was putting this video together late at night, and I want you to look at this for about a minute. And I mean, really look at it. If you're on a laptop in the dark alone, I think you'll get the full effect. Her eyes are closed, but when you look at her for several moments, her eyes appear to kind of be starting to open. At least I hope this is happening not just with me. That would be really creepy. The last one we're looking at here, all over the place, called the Anguished Man. The lore around this one actually originates here on YouTube, with owner Sean Robinson reporting that he was given the painting by his grandmother, who had it in some kind of storage. She told him the painting was made by mixing the unknown artist's blood in the paint, and the artists unalived themselves shortly after. Their videos of Robinson is made of what I would describe as a blend between Edvard Munch and a creepy pasta, where he left a camera on and for full nights. There's supposedly supernatural occurrences like sounds, moving doors. All of these, there's skepticism abound, but I mean, I still wouldn't want this thing in my house or, around where I'm hanging out in general. Just bad vibes altogether, even if it's not moving doors and making sound. In general, I think the spookiest images are going to be the ones with a person, typically they're front facing, expressionless, looking straight at us. We don't like being stared at in general, and especially when we don't quite know the intent. When confronted with being stared at by an uncanny valley expressionless object, it's taken on what we perceive as an identity. It's unsettling. It's easy to feel like you're constantly being watched by a painting that is always staring straight ahead. Still to this day, I think the Salvator Mundi by Leonardo da Vinci is one of the most terrifying paintings that I've ever seen. I don't like looking at it, really. Something about this slightly hazed over figure with this deep blackness behind him, just staring straight ahead of you. Something about a little smirk too, like can just grab you and pull you into that darkness, the abyss behind him. It's chilling. But what do you think? Have you encountered artwork or objects that give off an unsettling feeling like you're being watched by a demonic entity? Drop a comment, and if you feel like it, subscribe, like, all that fun stuff. Until next time, Get some sun, touch some grass, and find the art in everything.